20th century classroom versus 21st century classroom. Let's define first the word classrooms. As defined by dictionary.com, classroom means a room as in a school or college in which classes are held or any place where one learns or gains experience. This video is all about our midterm project in TLE or Technology Language Education, wherein we are tasked to illustrate in a form of drawing the comparison between the 20th century classrooms to 21st century classroom. Present this illustration in the video and kindly give a brief explanation of your illustration. If ever it's convenient for you to use video recorded PowerPoint presentation, you may do so. So with the help of storyboard.com with the drawing and a CapCut with the video, I come up with this illustration. The 20th century classroom and the 21st century classroom. Let's tackle first the 20th century. So 20th century begins on January 1, 1901 to December 31, 2000. So here is the illustration in the 20th century classroom. As you can see in the illustration, the teacher do all the talking while the student responds only when the class ended. This means that during 20th century, passive learning takes place and it is also a textbook driven. Learners also work in isolation or classroom within four walls. As we can see in the illustration, the teacher do all the talking, which shows that it is a teacher-centered whom the teacher is the center of attention and provider of information. Furthermore, there is a little or no student freedom, for they only have the chance to say anything during the end of the session class. Also, teacher is the judge where no one else sees student work, only the teacher. And lastly, diversity in students are ignored, which can be showed in the illustration above. To sum it up, based from illustration that I've made, 20th century classroom has the characteristics of the following: passive learning, textbook driven, learners work in isolation, little or no student freedom, teacher is judged, and diversity in students are ignored. For now, let's charge ourselves as we delve in the 21st century. So 21st century begins on January 1, 2001 to December 31, 2100. Here is the illustration of 21st century classroom. As we can see, not only the teacher but also the students is taking part of teaching and learning process, which means that active learning takes place in the 21st century classroom, and it is an outcome based, wherein students showed what they have learned through various ways. Also, the illustration show that it is student-centered, for teacher is only the facilitator or coach in the learning teaching process. Furthermore, it deals of student freedom, which can be showed in the illustration, for there is a conversation between students who are taking place in deciding where or which place they should take their lesson, which also shows that in 21st century, learners work collaboratively with their classmates. Teachers also in 21st century get out of their way to let students do the activity. Self, peer, and other assessments such as public audience and authentic assessments are the judges of the student work. Moreover, performances, projects, and multiple forms of media are used for learning and assessment. And lastly, curriculum and instruction address student diversity. To sum it up, based from the illustration that I've made, 21st century classroom has the characteristics of the following: active learning, outcome-based, student-centered, great deal of student freedom. Learners work collaboratively with classmates. Teachers get out of their way to let students do the activity. Self, peer, and other assessments are the judges. Performances, projects, and multiple forms of media are used for learning and assessment. Lastly, curriculum and instruction address student diversity. Thanks for watching.